Hello foodie friends! So I had a little bit of a different plan for this particular cookbook, but since it has been raining non-stop for a couple days now, I had to go ahead and put those plans aside and kind of change direction. Because today we're going to look at the cookbook Inside the Secret Garden. This is pretty special because it's been illustrated by Tasha Tudor. Now this cookbook is divided into teas that you would have. So they will have several recipes in each category, and the idea is that you would make everything in that menu set so that you can have that specific kind of tea time. So maybe tea in the garden, there's woodlands tea, there's all kinds of really cool ideas in here. But since I can't take you outside today, I decided to make a really warm and savory kind of bread that will be perfect and easy to make on a rainy and kind of chilly day. So let's go ahead and get ready for that and see how it tastes.
And now we'll go ahead and gather our ingredients, our recipe, and anything else we'll need to put this together. First, we'll go ahead and get our butter cut up into small pieces that we will work into our flour later. And once that's done, we'll go ahead and measure out our raisins and get our milk ready. Now these are called Current Buns. But in my neck of the woods, I actually couldn't find these, and so I had to substitute raisins. But if you can't find them like me and you want to stay true to form, I'm sure there's several online sources you could buy them from. And now to our flour, we'll go ahead and add our baking powder and salt. Give it a good whisk to mix it together. And now we'll add in our butter. You can use a pastry cutter, or if you don't have one, you can also use 2 forks to really work the butter into the flour until it has a slight crumble to it. But don't forget, the best tools are your hands. And that way you can really make sure the butter is mixed in well. Now you'll add your raisins or currants. Give it a quick stir to get them all mixed in. And now it's time for your milk. Stir that together until it becomes a firm dough. And again, I found it easier to just go ahead and knead it all together with my hands in the bowl. And now we're ready to divide the dough into 12 pieces. I just used my pastry cutter to keep dividing until I had all 12 pieces. And now you're going to roll each one into a little ball and place it on your baking sheet. Go ahead and flatten them slightly with your hand, and according to the recipe, they should be about 1 inch thick. Your last step is to sprinkle them with some sugar, and then bake them in a 400-degree oven for about 12 to 15 minutes or until they're golden brown. It's a good idea to serve them warm, with jams, jellies, and clotted cream.
All right, we are finally finished, and now Mitch isn't really feeling too well today, so it's just gonna be me reviewing these Current Buns. But first, can we just appreciate a little bit that these look nothing like the illustration of Tasha Tudor's Current Buns? So yeah, I'm not really sure what happened. I kind of think that the recipe needed a little bit more milk, so that you could really get a nice roll on the buns and kind of stick the dough together a little better in the oven, which you can see, you know, they kind of did crease a little bit and they didn't fall apart, but they kind of tried to. So maybe if you do make this recipe, use your judgment on maybe a little bit more milk needed than what the recipe states. So let's go ahead and try one. Now, they said, according to the book, that you do not need any extra butter or anything because they're awesome on their own. So let's just go ahead and do that and just try it and see what we think. Okay, these are really good. You know, just based on their look and the fact that I think it might have needed a little bit more milk, I was a little hesitant about how this was going to taste. But they're actually really good. They're nice and warm and savory with that little hint of sugar to make it just a little bit sweet. It's basically everything that you would want in a little bread. Now, I do think it would be really good with some clotted cream and some jelly, which of course I do have jelly, so after I stop recording, I will probably devour these with some Concord grape jelly that my mom made that is so good. But I think also using it with some eggs and bacon in the morning for breakfast would also be just as good. I can also see taking these on a picnic. Just as the book suggests, I think these would be really good. Now, as for the cookbook itself, this is absolutely adorable. Now, when I first got it, I was thinking, oh, the recipes are kind of simple, and it wasn't kind of what I was expecting. But after reviewing it, I realized that the cookbook is a little bit simple for a reason. This is more geared towards children and getting children in the kitchen to cook. And I like the fact that the recipes are divided into different teas that you can do, little menus at the start of each chapter, and that's what you're going to make throughout and then take it outside for your picnic or your tea. I think that's a really, really cute idea. And it's a good idea to keep things relatively simple if you're going to be making multiple recipes for one event. So I really like that because it's not going to overwhelm you in the kitchen and it's not going to make your child absolutely hate this whole outside picnic idea because you're spending so much time in the kitchen. I also like the fact that it tells about the author of The Secret Garden. It goes through her life, but it also goes through what it would have been like inside a type of manor home that The Secret Garden is set in. And so you have the history of that. You've got what it would have been like for the servants, how they would have put their gardens together. That is really cute. And then, of course, after all your recipes, you also have some crafts, which is absolutely adorable. So you can get your child out in the garden and they have so many different ideas that you can interest them in with creating your own secret garden. So maybe you make an afternoon tea that you take outside for a little picnic right before you get ready to do your gardening. It's just an overall really awesome idea. So I thoroughly enjoyed this cookbook from cover to cover, and I think if you're a big fan of The Secret Garden that you're gonna be too, especially if you have children that you want to get them interested in reading, cooking, gardening, and all that wonderful, awesome stuff. So there you have it, another really good recipe and another really cute literary-based cookbook. And now stay tuned for the rest of April because we're going to be going into our favorite subject here on a Cookbook Collectors channel, and that is the RMS Titanic, which of course set sail this month, but also sank this month. So we're going to go ahead and look at some Titanic era recipes that was featured on the ship, but we didn't actually quite have the recipes for. So I went ahead and bought a cookbook that was published in 1912 that have these recipes in it. So we're gonna look at those and see if we can recreate some of those Titanic recipes, but then we're also gonna set sail on her sister ship, the RMS Olympic. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited. I can't wait. It's gonna be very special. Thank you for watching this time, and I hope to see you next. Bye.
If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for future videos. In the meantime, here are 2 videos you may enjoy. Thanks for watching.